Hello, welcome to the November 10th Board of Education meeting held at Pleasant Run Middle School. I would like to invite everybody to stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of our flag and our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amy, would you like to do a roll call?
Ms. Slattery?
Here.
Mr. Heather? Here. Mr. Ditzel? Mr. Gilbert?
Here.
Mrs. Tawby? Here.
I will read our mission statement. The Northwest Local School District will create a responsive learning community where all students are valued, challenged, and guided along a pathway to success. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda in a second?
So moved. Second.
Was he not removed from the meeting?
It's waiting on Jim.
I guess I'm going to have to end it and restart it.
Because Jim's in there. Just do oral votes.
End it and
If
restart
we
it.
can, if we can't take him out, then we can do oral votes.
Okay. It said I have to end it and restart it to take him out. End it.
Or do you want to start it? Yeah.
End it. Okay.
What are we doing there?
Okay, and that passes without opposition.
And then tonight we start with two presentations. So I'd like to bring up the Pleasant Run Middle School Principal Jana Lewis and the Assistant Principal Aaron Ferrante, and they're going to introduce the PRMS student presentation about Next Engineers and GE Aerospace.
Great, thank you. I'm Jana Lewis. I'm Erin Ferrante. Thanks for having us. We started this, actually Sabrina Cook, one of our instructional coaches, started this program about 4 or 5 years ago. She reached out to someone at GE, and 2 times a year they come to the school and they work with our current 8th graders. They're doing projects, just different discovery things where all 8th graders can go through this process, but then our discovery group happens after. So they're here twice a year, one time in the fall, they've already been here, and then they're coming again in the spring. It's really February, so to me, that's winter. But they will be here again in February. And this is just a video production of our focus group and the little challenges that they did, and they're talking about just what they learned, really. So they had a special group that they worked together. I know I talk too much. She always tells me I talk too much. But they did their little special group after, and this is their discovery.
What is Discovery? GE Discovery Program is a collaboration with the University of Cincinnati and includes real engineers at GE to lead to let free hands on sessions to spark curiosity and creativity in students. This is Pleasant Hill fourth year with the GE's program with our 8th graders doing science class.
What did engineers do? When students were asked the question, these were some of the responses. To find solutions to problems, take multiple tries to solve, use trial and error, make things more safe for others, and progress over perfection.
We worked with our groups to design a structure balcony that only had one side connected to the edge of the table. We only had paper tape and optional string. It had to hold as much weight as possible with as much distance away from the table as possible.
Student experience. We had to brainstorm ideas while looking at our materials. We had to test how durable things would be. We used trial and error. Disagree with team members and had to work through that. We worked through this with a lot of explaining and testing of our ideas. Student reflection. What inspired me during this challenge? I think engineering is very interesting. It inspired me to learn more about engineering because engineering really, I would like to be an engineer when I grow up. I like to build structure and yeah.
What was the hardest part? The hardest part was coming up with a universal idea with my teammates. People thought things would work or not work without testing it.
What did you learn about teamwork? You have to listen to everyone's idea for it to work out well. Any and design with multiple people.
What we do differently during the next challenge, some of the students said that we will try to have better teamwork and listen to everyone. We'll have better planning strategies and we'll be able to find a way to stress test the materials we are given.
The program will be back in spring to learn another session with our 8th graders. We are excited to experience a new step activity.
Thank you.
I'm Casey.
I'm Zach.
I'm Francisco.
I'm Cole.
Thank you.
Consecutive days or?
They just come one day in the fall, and then they'll come one day in the spring. Yeah, they bring about 3 to 5 GE employees. And yeah, they just set up different projects for them to do and discover and answer questions. And it's a really neat day.
They teach them the engineering design process and then provide them a task, and the students then apply the engineer design process to complete the task as a team.
Would the kids have an opportunity to go there and see their
workspace at all, or?
That's a great question. We should ask them that. We will definitely explore that. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Next, we have Ruth Graber, our food service supervisor, who's going to provide our annual food service nutrition standards compliance report.
Good evening. As Daryl mentioned, I am Ruth Graber, the supervisor of the food service department. Thank you for having me tonight to present the district's student wellness policy for our annual compliance for the nutrition standards and student wellness administrative regulation. In light of the national concern with poor health and childhood obesity, we need to be particularly vigilant of the types of foods sold in our schools. School wellness plans and programs must include nutritional guidelines equal to the guidelines issued by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA. Our district's wellness policy, went too far. There we go. Our district's wellness policy is intended to help kids learn, grow, and be healthy. Together, parents, school staff, and students can create a healthy school nutrition environment. This ultimately translates to better health and to better learners. Kids with healthier eating patterns and enough physical activity tend to have better grades, remember what is taught in class, behave better in class, and miss less school time. Our wellness policy, which can be found on the district's website, helps create a healthy school environment. Our wellness policy talks about the following: nutrition education, physical activity, foods and drinks sold to students, nutrition promotion, food and beverages not sold but provided to students, food and beverage marketing, and allows us to inform the community, leadership, and more. All food and beverages sold in school during the school day must follow the Smart Snack standards set in place by the USDA. Food provided for free is exempt, but food that meets the nutritional standards is highly recommended. Additional exemptions to this apply only to fundraisers, interscholastic athletic events, and other school-related events held outside of the regular school day. The regular school day is defined as the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. These restrictions also do not apply to vending machines accessible only to staff. Northwest Local School District nutrition standards are in alignment with the AHG, the Alliance for a Healthier Generation, school beverage and competitive food guidelines. On July 1st, 2022, the USDA established a new set of standards for milk, whole grains, and sodium. These standards have been progressively changing to the now current guidelines of flavored milk will have no more than 10 grams of added sugars per 8 fluid ounces. 80% of grains served must be whole grain rich, which is to say that they have to have at least 50% whole grain. And sodium reduction is ongoing and will ultimately go from where we currently stand at less than 1,110 milligrams daily to less than 935 milligrams daily for K through 5, less than 1,225 milligrams daily for 6 to 8 to less than 1,035 milligrams daily, and less than 1,280 milligrams daily to less than 1,080 milligrams daily for 9 to 12. These reductions will be effective June 30th of 2027. This ultimately translates to a reduction of 175 to 200 milligrams less per grade level. To qualify as a smart snack, a snack or entree must first meet the general nutrition standards, which are as follows. Be a grain product that contains 50% or more whole grains by weight, which is to say have a whole grain as the first ingredient, or have the first ingredient as a fruit, a vegetable, a dairy food, or a protein food, or be a combination that contains at least a quarter cup of fruit and/or a vegetable. And the food must meet the nutrition standards for calorie, sodium, fats, and total sugars. Every beverage sold in schools has a size restriction except for plain water. High schools are permitted to have water, flavored water, milk, 100% juice, mid-calorie beverages, zero-calorie or low-calorie beverages. Elementary and middle schools are permitted to have plain water, milk, or 100% juice. Kids' Healthy Eating Index scores showed children receive their healthiest meals of the day at school. Thank you for your time and commitment to the wellness of our students in Northwest Local School District.
What do they consider a mid-calorie beverage?
So basically, we serve like diet sodas, and then like zero-calorie Gatorades, like G2s.
When did the rules change? Because I can remember maybe 10 years ago, they used to have these just delicious, like super thick chocolate ice cream sandwiches.
We do still serve ice cream sandwiches. They are just lower calorie versions, but our middle school and high schools still serve ice cream as a snack.
Well, these weren't low calorie.
No, I'm sure they weren't. The standards started changing in about 2012, and then they've progressively just been changing since then.
I just want to commend Ruth and her team because these are not only constantly changing, but the amount of just dedication to checking the calories, the sodium, it's a complete scientific formula they go through for every single meal that our students get on a daily basis, and it is a huge undertaking, and you and your team do an amazing job of keeping up with that and getting our kids with those restrictions the best possible meals, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to our Student Achievement Liaison report with Nicole.
All right, so we'd like to start with academics at Struble Elementary. To celebrate the end of their human body unit in CKLA, first grade students became doctors for the day. The surgeons pictured here did an amazing job in their operating rooms. Lots of learning, laughter, and successful procedures occurred that day. Over at Taylor Elementary, data walls are popping up all over Taylor Elementary to celebrate students' academic success. Each grade level team added their own creative take, and the students are very excited to watch their progress. At Pleasant Run Elementary's fourth graders are deepening their understanding of division through hands-on learning. Recently, students used manipulatives to model and solve division problems, sparking thoughtful conversations and many aha moments along the way. The teachers noted strong collaboration, perseverance, and excitement as students connected abstract math concepts to real-world problem solvings. And PRE students are making great progress on their Zern math missions. In October, 118 students completed at least one math mission for a total of 154 missions, which is up from just 43 students in September. And here at Pleasant Run Middle School, our 7th grade science students are putting their curiosity to work as they explore how matter changes. Through hands-on experiments, they assess, identify, and analyze the physical and chemical properties of different substances, observing reactions, recording data, and drawing conclusions about how and why these changes occur. Science in action, they're all excited to be a part of it. At White Oak Middle School, Mrs. Thompson's WIN students put their creativity and problem-solving skills to the test during this year's Egg Drop Challenge. Using everything from parachutes to padded boxes, our young engineers designed and tested protective devices to keep their eggs safe. The project showcased teamwork, innovation, and plenty of excitement as students discovered which designs could withstand the fall. And it's the same window I dropped my egg out of, so how many eggs have fallen out of that window? And in citizenship, at Taylor Elementary, Taylor proudly brought back its grade-level quarterly award ceremonies. Families joined students to celebrate achievements in perfect attendance, all A's, AB honor rolls, special area recognition, and the new Heart of the Roar Award. One student per classroom earned this honor for exemplifying Taylor's PBIS values, respect, own choices, always safe and responsible. Pleasant Run Middle School on October 16th. Pleasant Run was filled with laughter and connection during our family fun night. Families enjoyed pizza, games, and crafts with highlights including a bounce house, obstacle course, minute to win it challenges, minute to win it challenges, friendship bracelet making. It was a wonderful evening of community and togetherness. And in fine arts, Struble would like to congratulate the following fifth grade students who have artwork that have been submitted to OSBA for this year's Student Achievement Fair. Miriam Dia, Abriella Riesenberg, Aria Stringer, and Mackenzie Sujka. Very talented. And here at Pleasant Run, Mrs. Daly's art class submitted their work for display at OSBA Achievement Fair, featuring artists include Chloe Wubin, Leah Grace, and Darian Ferguson. And artwork from Coleraine High School Mrs. Newman's art class was submitted for display also. And you'll see the art here from Ashley Heibel, Adriana Waller, Asim Evans, Binta Diallo, Gracie Pegram, and Lydia Taphorn. And in community service at Northwest High School, our Key Club assembled 200 gift bags for breast cancer survivors and fighters, with many going to women in our district, and the rest were donated to Mercy Fairfield Breast Center. Excuse me. And last week, Coleraine High School Student Senate and FCCLA partnered with Shared Harvest and filled backpack kits for students who did not have food over the weekend. We broke the record by packing over 5 pallets with almost 1,000 kits. That will be almost 1,000 kids who will have food over the weekend. So just awesome to see all the cool ways that each school is representing or honoring students and having awards that they present to the students, and also giving back to the community. So congratulations to all of them.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And next, we'll have legislative update with Mark.
All right, a few things on here. Governor Mike DeWine signed House Bill 57 into law October 18th. House Bill 57 requires any public or non-public school that elects to keep a supply of an overdose reversal drug for emergency use to adopt and implement a policy regarding the supplies, maintenance, and the drug's use. House Bill 57 also includes expanded timeframes for students to attend release time for religious instruction. This bill will become effective January 18th of 26. The Senate passed Senate Bill 156 with a vote of 24-9 on October 22nd. This bill would require school districts to provide success sequence instruction in at least one course required for high school graduation. The bill now goes to the House for consideration. House Bill 186 passed with a vote of 72-23 on October 22nd. House Bill 186 would cap tax growth for districts on the 20 mil floor to inflation and includes a retroactive tax credit. The bill was amended by the House Ways and Means Committee earlier in the week to provide $465 million for the sales tax holiday fund to keep school districts whole from the tax credit losses. The bill now goes to the Senate for consideration. The House also passed House Bill 335 with a vote of 71-24 on the 22nd of October. This bill would cap inflationary growth on all inside millage beginning in tax year 2026. The bill now goes to the Senate for consideration. And the last one is Senate bill also passed Senate Bill 144 with a vote of 32-0 on the 29th of October. This bill reverts to educator license grade bands to the bands utilized before House Bill 33 of the 135th General Assembly, grades pre through K through 5, grades 4 through 8, and grades 7 through 12. It also permits school districts to employ individuals who have at least 1 year of experience as a licensed classroom teacher to teach outside of the designated band. The bill now moves to the House for consideration.
Thank you, Mark.
And we don't have anything from an employee organization tonight?
All right. And our policy 0169.1 addresses public participation at board meetings, which gives each submission 3 minutes to address agenda items of any topic during community comments. However, no more than 15 minutes will be devoted to public participation unless the board votes unanimously to continue discussion. The policy also states that no response to the submission will occur from the board or district administration during this time. There are no community comments at this time, so we will move forward to our next agenda item.
For our consent items tonight, we'll start with human resources.
We seek approval for the following: 8 resignations, 10 retirements, 1 person who is deceased, 10 initial appointments, 7 change in status, Kisser tutor job description, a job abandonment, and various supplemental items and leaves of absence.
For donations tonight, we have gift cards from Ben's Way to White Oak Middle School, car wash coupons from Mike's Car Wash to the district, books from Ronald Eulenberg to Montfort Heights Elementary, flowers from Joe Kappel's Garden Center to White Oak Middle School, and aprons from Home Depot to Taylor Elementary School. For vendor contracts, we have non-public, special education, prom, student services, and elementary planners.
Superintendent recommends the board approve the consent items as listed.
Okay, a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? No questions? And that passes without opposition.
Good evening. First, I'd like to ask the board to dispense with reading of and approve our regular meeting from October 6th, our regular work session, which was on the report card, from October 27th, our finance special work session on November the 5th, and we also have our September financial report. Our all funds balance was $116 million. Our general fund unreserved balance was $31 million. Our revenues year-to-date were at $40 million, or about 36% for the year, and our expenditures were $26 million, or 24%, so right on target. Our investment weighted average return was 4.17%, and the feds have cut rates again at 0.25%. Our list of monthly bills, or our routine monthly bills, as well as we had some view boards, some district-wide summer pavement improvements, our OFCC Segment 1 Corn Elementary project, preschool paving and sidewalk repairs, our annual student and staff software, some roof assessments, the preschool PA system, textbooks, maintenance supplies, and some auxiliary and grant fund payments. With that, I ask the board to approve the items as listed.
Could I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any discussion? And that passes without opposition.
Next, we have a donation for acceptance of books and gift cards from Nancy Slattery. Superintendent recommends the board accept the donation as listed.
Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
And that passes without opposition and one abstaining.
We have another donation. This time it is a donation of wooden benches from Mark Gilbert to Taylor Elementary. Superintendent recommends the board approve the donation as listed.
Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second. And that passes with 3 approvals and 1 abstaining.
Tonight, we have another TIF from Colerain Township. The board previously approved this TIF in September of '23, and at that time, it was the Pottinger TIF. It's the old Beavis property. They have refiled this as the Taylor Glen TIF, and would like the board to once again approve it as a make-whole TIF.
Can I have a motion and a second? So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? And that passes without opposition.
So in September, we passed our permanent appropriations and filed those with the county. Now we need to accept the amended certificate as approved by the Hamilton County Budget Commission for $277 million. With that, I ask the board to approve and accept the amended certificate as listed.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? And that passes without opposition.
Next, we have our annual resolution to file a modified tax budget with the county for the 26-27 school year.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? And that passes without opposition.
And finally, we have our annual resolution to authorize the advancement of tax monies for the calendar year of 2025, which we collect in both fiscal 26 and 27.
Can I get a motion and a second? So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? And that passes without opposition.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing, I know we just finished the first quarter of the school year, but we are already thinking about next school year, so we're typically 6 months to a year out. This is the 26-27 high school program of study. It is for information only, outlines all the courses that will be available in both high schools for next school year. This will be approved at the December meeting, and then that will allow our students to start electing the courses they'd like to have for the following school year so that we can stay on our normal process for getting this done. Just, I know it seems odd that we're doing this now and we're not even halfway through the year, but it's part of our normal process. And then for just some general updates tonight, a couple of reminders. Tomorrow, the 11th, is a 2-hour late start, so we want to remind our families of that change in schedule for tomorrow. It also is Veterans Day, so we want to take a moment and just acknowledge and thank the service of all of our veterans and make sure that we are acknowledging the great service of all of our current and former veterans. Thinking about schedules, we also have Thanksgiving break coming up. It is an entire week this year for our students, so they get the entire week of November 24th through 28th off. In that vein of gratitude, we also want to take a moment and just remind everyone to take a moment and be grateful for the things they have and for the people who make a difference in their life. Our staff do that daily for our students, and we are eternally grateful for all of our staff who are showing up every day, seeing every student by name, story, strength, and need, and responding to the students and the families of our district. We also thank our students who show up, we hope every day, but our students who show up ready to learn, who are creating dynamic environments that we saw from Nicole's report. And thanks to our parents who continue to support the students of the district as a whole, and are part of this great district that we have. And just our community at large, who stay connected to and informed about the great things that are happening here at the district. Today was a great day to just remind everyone about weather. Winter is not only around the corner, it was here today. It will be gone tomorrow, but it was here today. So typical Cincinnati weather. This is a reminder that when there are things that impact school operations because of weather, we communicate through our normal systems. So if our families have not updated their Infinite Campus information, we need those families to do that immediately, because we need to make sure that we have the right contact information so that you don't miss important information. So if that hasn't happened, please remember to do that. And then, Mark, I just want to piggyback off of your legislative update. There's a lot happening. And so we've talked periodically over time about how the state has continued to shift the way public school funding happens over the years. So over the past 30 or so years, the state share of public education and how much the state puts into public education has decreased over time. And it will, over the next 2 years, go to the lowest level in Ohio history for Ohio funding of public education. And some of the legislation that Mark referenced are additional bills that are being addressed at the state level to try to provide taxpayer relief. We acknowledge that taxpayer relief is a real thing that needs sustainable and realistic solutions. However, some of the things that are being looked at the state are not necessarily relief, but shifting the burden again to the schools. And so we would like to see some additional leverage for the legislation to be able to look at sustainable solutions that impact positively our taxpayers, but don't negatively impact our schools and our public services. So one thing, case in point, our Hamilton County commissioners had the opportunity to double a tax exemption. That doubling of the tax exemption came with no state funds. It was literally doubling the tax exemption for our residents in Hamilton County without sending that money to the schools and the local agencies, Corrigan Township, local townships, local governments. They chose not to take that up and not to do that. So again, it's one of the things that Senator Blessing mentioned when he came at the last meeting and spoke, was that this is a statewide issue and the state needs to take responsibility for fixing that as well. So we ask everyone to stay informed and engaged as we continue to talk about and legislate and lobby for sustainable relief for taxpayers that is not funded on the backs of local governments and schools, and at the end of the day, our children.
All right, and next we'll move on to board comments, and we'll start with Nicole.
Just want to thank the staff from Pleasant Run that presented, and GE for being a part of their presentation, and then also from Ruth's presentation as well. That's all.
Mark?
Thanks Pleasant Run Middle for the hospitality. Ruth, first time you had to get up front, you did a great job. And I also want to acknowledge Ruth. She assists us on Wednesdays at Taylor in the mentoring program, the All-Stars program. So we're very appreciative that your help there. And just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Chris?
I want to also thank Pleasant Run Middle School for having us here. It's been 55 years since I've been here, and strangely enough, it seems so familiar. I played basketball here for White Oak. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. I would ask that everybody, if you know a veteran or have a family member who's a veteran, thank them. My grandpa and my dad shared some stories. Grandpa from World War I, my dad from World War II. And I think the toughest thing that I can't wrap my arms around with my dad's stories was going 30 days without a shower, without a change of clothes, sleeping in the cold. I'm not sure how many people could do that, and they did it without any complaints. And certainly we ended up winning in Europe and in Japan. So with that, I'll pass it on to you, Nancy.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and again, thank everybody who participated tonight with presentations. They were wonderful and informative. And I would like to just say I'm very thankful to be part of this community and to have the opportunity to serve on the board and to work together with the board, the superintendent, and the treasurer to try and help continue to improve our community. And I would like to congratulate everybody on the school report card. This is our first board meeting since we did the report card work session, and we did a phenomenal job on the report card. And you know, I always learned you round up, so I feel like 3.7 stars should have been rounded up to 4, but I guess that's not the way they like to do it. But we're on the verge of 4 stars, which is wonderful. And so I would like to thank the students, the families, the teachers, all the building administrators, everybody involved in the administrative staff too at the central office. And I would also like, as people think about being thankful this Thanksgiving, is to stop and think about how we can go out and make a difference in our community. There are many people who are involved and engaged, and there's many more that can be involved and engaged. And there's so many things you can do to make a difference. You can volunteer, you can come and support students as they do their athletic events, as they do their plays. Like the band just had an event last week, which was absolutely fantastic. Come out and support those things. You can volunteer as a tutor. You can, if you're a shut-in, you can stay at home and say a prayer for the district. All those things work. And you can, you know, you don't have to have money to donate. There's many ways you can donate your time and your talent. So really thank you to all those who do donate their time, talent, and money. And we hope to find more people who would like to participate in that way as well. And that's my final comment. And happy Veterans Day, Daryl and Chris. And if I missed anybody else, happy Veterans Day to you too. All right, and can we get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I'm not getting it.
Oh, do you have to resync? Because it's up here. Do you have to hit sync?
Nope. These things have a mind of their own, don't they?
They do.
Can I just verbally give it, Amy?
I just don't know if it'll let us in the meeting if you're.
Okay, I've joined meeting, I've hit sync, and now it's Matt. And then rejoin the meeting. There we go. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Matt.
All right, and that passes without opposition. Meeting is adjourned.